Hello everyone and welcome back to UGCNET preparation. So today basically I'm covering unit number 10, income tax, from paper number 2, commerce, and I'm so sorry for the gap that has been during this course of time, and sorry for being late on uploading the videos. So first of all, we'll talk about the basic concepts or as an introduction of the income tax. So basically, what is a tax? So tax, it is generally a fee which is charged by the government, or it is an imposition of financial charges upon an individual or a company by the government, which is basically in terms of a product or in terms of an activity or in terms of income or any type of it. So there are basically two types of taxes. First of all, which is the direct tax, and another one, the indirect tax. So the direct tax is basically the tax which are generally paid to the government directly by the assessee or the person, such as an income tax, which is generally paid directly to the government by an individual. If I'm working and I need to pay income tax, that will generally be paid by me, so it will be directly paid to the government. Another one is the indirect tax. So basically, indirect tax is a tax which is collected by an intermediary from the person who bears the ultimate economic burden, or like basically what is happening is we are paying the taxes, or the person who is paying the taxes passes on the burden to somebody else, as in case of a GST. What is happening is I am producing a product, and for me, a consumer is paying the tax. So basically, in terms of a service tax, a customer of a product is paying the indirect tax in the form of GST. So, like, why are taxes levied? So, generally, tax, it is a source of revenue for the government, which is generally raised for the motive of collecting revenues for meeting the needs of the government of a country, generally with respect to in terms of expenses of defense, or in terms of expenses of healthcare, or in terms of expenses of the infrastructural requirements of a country. In income tax, the laws that are usually inclined, or which is for the income tax law, there are significant components which are under it, which consist of the Income Tax Act 1961. Another one is the annual amendments in the Finance Act, which is generally the annual statements that has been, or annual rectifications which are done every year. Another one is the Income Tax Rules 1962. Circulars or notification generally made by the CBDT, which is also known as the Central Board of Direct Taxation. And another one, any legal decision made by High Court or Supreme Court, any type of judicial decisions regarding to the income tax. So these are the basic components under the income tax law. Income Tax Act is governed by the Income Tax Act law, Income Tax Act 1961, which came into force on 1st April 1962, and it consists of 298 sections and 14 schedules, and it's like every year there are some additions done, or some things are removed from there by the help of the Finance Act, which is usually done by the Parliament of a country. So the Constitution of India, it is generally the parent law or the ultimate law which covers. So any law which can be made in India is any law can be made in India if it is like permitted or granted by the Constitution of a country. So what happens is, in case of the Finance Act, as we see in a general year, every year in the end of or in the every year at the end of March or the starting of April 1st, it starts off a new April 1st starts a new financial year. So before the financial year starts, every year in February, so there is a budget session that is done on the parliament, and every year the finance minister of the government of India presents the budget to the parliament, where there are two sections generally. For part A consisting the proposed policies of the government, and part B containing the detailed tax proposals. So income tax law is basically like administered or looked after by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, or the CBDT, who is generally able, or who is generally relied upon, um, or they are given the power to make rules for carrying out the purposes of the act. So what usually happens is there is a finance bill that is introduced in the parliament, or it is presented in the parliament, and then once the finance bill which was introduced or presented in the parliament is approved by the parliament, it gets the consent of the president, and then after that it becomes a finance act. So income tax is like, it is a direct tax, and it is levied on the total income of the previous year of every person. So who is this person and who comes under this person category? So person includes an individual, first of all, any normal individual, Hindu undivided family, association of person or body of individual is also known as, whether they are incorporated or not, a firm, a local authority, and every other judicial person. So these are the ones who can be referred or who can be considered to be a person in terms of levying or like imposition of the income tax. So what are the terms associated to income tax? The important ones, the assessment year. So whenever an assessment term year is termed out, so it is basically is the period of a year, which is basically of 12 months, which starts from 1st of April to 31st of March, like as in 1st of April 2022 to 31st of March 2023. So this is an assessment year. Another is the previous year. So income earned in a year. So now take for example April 1st 2022 to April 1st 2023. It is a previous year, and now since we are in the financial year April 1st 2023 to financial year which will end on 31st of March 2024, so we are in an assessment year of 23-24, and the previous year is basically 2022-23. So previous year is the year in which the income is earned, and then the tax is paid on the assessment year, which is generally the year where the actual year is. Suppose if you are taking a previous year of 2022-23, so our assessment year will be 23-24. If we are in 1st April 2025, then our previous year will consist of 2023-24, and then the assessment year will be that of 2024-25. Well, that is all for today, and thank you so much for your patience. Thank you very much, and I hope you like the videos, and I hope that the video will help you further for your studies. Thank you.